Hey everybody, it's Chad. I'm going to be your tour guide on our little journey through the magical land of puppets. We're going to learn a lot and make a video together along the way. Today we're going to start at the beginning. We're going to talk about how to write stories for puppets. And who better to talk about writing than my Crash Boom writing partner and hetero life mate, Bill Creasey. If you were at PAX last week, you may have seen this big hunk of man love running around. He is security chief for PAX. Kilt mohawk, hard to miss. Are there a lot of kilted mohawkers?
There's a lot of kilteders. There's a few mohawkers. Never mind.
Do you call yourself mohawkers?
No.
Bill is a wealth of knowledge on all things. So check him out on Twitter if you want to hear about all his fun adventures. There's as many different ways to do things as there are people. We're going to show you how we do it, because that's all we know. Maybe you can share back with us some things you've learned or ways you do it different.
Maybe what we do works for you?
Yeah, maybe it doesn't. We're going to tell you anyways. Writing is a pretty big topic to cover in one episode.
There's entire books, vlogs, classes, radio shows, college educations, all dedicated to writing.
We're just going to barely scratch the surface of scratching the surface.
Yes.
And okay, here we go. For us, it usually starts with a simple idea or an image.
Maybe it's just trying to make the other person laugh or freak them out a little bit. So like imagine after the apocalyptic zombie uprising, humanity has won, but all around the country has sprung up underground zombie cockfighting rings.
I like that, but what if the cockfighting ring was broken up by easy peasy?
The ethical zombie protection zeitgeist? No, that wouldn't happen.
After you settle on your cool idea, one of the first things we do is try to come up with the characters that are going to make that idea happen.
You want to think about their motivation, you know, why they exist.
A lot of times you try to figure out what their flaw would be. Depending on what you're doing, whether it's short form, long form, video, or a series, it's nice to see character development and growth.
You can think about the opposition or trials that they'll face throughout your story.
Yeah, you got to have the bad guy. You got to have your antagonist. Bill's usually my antagonist.
No, I'm not. Shut up.
There's going to be a goal of some sort that they're trying to accomplish, whether it's as simple as going to get the mail or
like a legend of seeking things. Called Legend of the Seeker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a TV show based on a book.
I didn't know that.
It's mostly softcore BDSM, but it's entertaining. We usually like to outline our entire story. Maybe we're talking about an episodic TV show that's going to take multiple seasons. Maybe we're thinking about just a short video, but we'll actually outline, even though we may be only writing the first 3 episodes of a 26 episode arc, we like to sketch out our ideas. It gives us a grid, a framework, a skeleton to hang your story off of.
Yeah, and it allows you to add in lots of details and meat. You know, you start with the skeletal structure and then add all the meat to the bones as you go along.
As a child, I collected the bones of mice and field animals. Now I collect the bones of stories.
I wish he was joking right now. No, seriously, owl pellets, look it up. He collected them. If you want to explore and talk about this further, why don't we talk about it in the comments below, or better yet, maybe over on our forums.
More on that later.
Or better yet, check out the amazing writing vlog by Nika Harper.
Find the links down below in our show notes.
Or there's a really great book called On Writing by Stephen King. Those are 2 of my sources, Nika and that book, that I kind of my go-tos for writing inspiration. Do you have any inspirations?
Just you.
Thanks, man. Beneath the pale moonlight. You know American Tail?
Yeah, no, it's Fievel. We always prefer to be in the same room, talking, bantering, you know, being able to get reactions, but we live in different cities, we have busy lives, families, everything else. It's really not always convenient to get together. So we definitely like to use technology to bridge that gap.
And there's a few different technological tools we use. Bill's kind of more the technical guy. Boop, 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 boop. The main thing I use is Evernote. It's a great free program that you can get. I use my cell phone and can record voice notes. I can write things down, take pictures, type in story ideas. It's all collected for me so that wherever I go and I come up with a wacky idea, I always have it there kind of at my fingertips.
And you can share an Evernote.
Yeah, we also share Evernote accounts. And amongst other people on our team, actors, other puppeteers, we can make different files and folders that we can share amongst each other so everybody can kind of pitch in and collaborate from afar.
We've also started using Google Drive quite a bit because it's got a little more robust writing tools, and we can write and share again with not only between ourselves, but also other collaborators from around the world. They can add notes and we can work on it real time. What's cool about that is we can edit a story together while chatting using Skype or Google Hangouts is something we started using more recently. And it allows you that face-to-face connection when somebody plugs in their webcam.
Oops.
And can really kind of bring that feeling of being in the same room together to life, even though you're halfway around the planet.
And you don't have to wear pants.
No pants.
Another thing we do is we have a weekly writers meeting where we get together via Skype or Hangouts like you talked about and just force ourselves to spend those couple hours hashing through things and working together. And when in doubt, you can always just fall back on your notebook. I carry this thing around with me everywhere I go. I'm always writing down little sketches of new puppet ideas, taking notes.
I forgot how to form letters 3 years ago. So we're always curious because we learned from other people that we collaborate with. What are your favorite technology tools for collaborative writing or creativity?
Tell us in the comments because we'd love to learn more from you. There's always new stuff coming online all the time, and we are by no means the be-all and end-all of how this works. So all of that is really good basic writing stuff again, but let's go ahead now. Let's talk about puppet specifics. Puppets are strange because they're limiting, but they're also limitless.
There's a lot of times we can ask a puppet to do something that I would never ask a person to do.
It's true. Like we talked about in last episode, anything can be a puppet. I mean, it can be as much as a sock on your hand, all the way to some amazing animatronic puppet, like one of my favorite shows of all time, Farscape. Rigel in that. Amazing animatronic puppet. But puppets, unlike digital characters, require you to actually perform and manipulate and make the things that you dream up happen by yourself. You know, there's motion capture and all sorts of things with digital animation, but puppets are a little bit different. They're very grounded. They're very, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for?
Tangible?
Yes, what he said. If you happen to be the MacGyver type, you're going to love this part. It's the part where you get to figure out how to make this bit of cloth dance or sing or ride a bike.
Well, for one thing, a lot of puppets don't really have legs.
You can make legs, but you can't manipulate them, really. I mean, you can do things on green screen, but we have to think about that when we're writing. How do we bring it in and make it actually performable? Same thing with hand movements. You know, puppet hands are a bit of foam and wire on a coat hanger stick, and you're trying to reach down and grab things. It's hard for puppets to pick things up. Anytime you want a puppet to hold something, we have to stop production and tape or glue or sew something onto the hand. The more complicated movements you have your puppets do, the more time it takes on set.
Along those lines, one of the reasons they created live hand puppets was to be able to actually grip and manipulate fingers and use things. But then you're talking extra hands and extra people.
Yeah, now you've got two puppeteers.
Much more complicated.
Yeah. Be as creative and as crazy as you want to get, but remember that you have to actually, when it comes time to film, be able to make that thing happen. This week's big spaghetti western question for you is, what kind of characters populate this here spaghetti western world?
Take a gander down below in the comments section and leave us what you think our characters should be like. They could be monsters, humanoids, other things.
Maybe they're vegetables.
Sentient vegetables.
Get as wacky, nutty, bizarro as you want to get. Or keep it super simple. Just remember, if it's something we can't physically build, you're probably not going to get picked.
Did you mention we had forums now?
Oh. Yes, check out the link in the description below. Go sign up and check them out. Thank you, Bill, for making forums.
They're a work in progress. Join us. Help us build the community. Feedback welcome.
Yeah, please join the discussion. Beep, boop, 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 boop. I told you he's good. I'll see you in 2 weeks where we're going to talk about...
Yeehaw! Character design!
Until then, carry on, brave puppet freedom fighters. And, Bill, do you want to do it?
Oh, I got it. Huge hit on the internet. Everybody loves classic console gaming.
Love you, Scott.
Console wars, literally. Dreamcast, Nintendo, blah, Smash.
No. Okay. Dia de los Muertos in space.
What if the spaceship was filled with sentient vegetables?
Sentient vegetables?
Sentient vegetables.
Sentient vegetables? Are you talking about like a chatty cucumber?
Yeah, and a carrot with just too much on his mind. What if all of America's coastlines became alive as all the docks?
Sentient again? Sentient coastlines.
Sentient docks.
Yeah.
They came alive and all the docks in Florida were out of control.
Wharves gone wild.
Yes, their pilings go all the way down.
Yum.
Okay, I've got it.
Yeah.
40-year-old virgin,
Uh-huh.
but with a crane fly.
I don't get it.
He's like really old because he hasn't had sex. Crane flies die when they procreate.
Really?
So it's the juxtaposition of a long life and being wise, but at the same time, really wanting to get laid.
Sounds sad. Sounds too sad.
Yeah, it is.
I like it.
Yeah.